What up traders, what up investors, and we have a fantastic trade. Someone is going completely bullish on Nvidia, going full beast mode as the post says. Basically, I think this individual bought it on the dip way back when. We'll look at the chart in a second. So Nvidia has actually earnings coming out this Thursday after the close. That is the 21st of May, and this guy is already up substantially, basically making a bet about $50,000, looking at an overall return of nearly 170% and looking at nearly $113,000 already in profit. He has bought multiple different calls. Again, the screenshot doesn't go into when he bought them, but we can make some estimations looking at the expirations of all the way from we'll start at the bottom. He's looking at all the way from January to 2022. That's the year. Way out there, he's buying the 470 call. Then we have some more that fall into the next month or so. We have some in June and July, with his bulk of his bet basically with 40 of them being in the month of July. And he does have a fair stack of them, lack of a better words, 19 of these way out in 2022. He's making smaller bets here in the upfront months, but these will move substantially if the quarter is good or bad, up or down, of course. That being said, is he getting out? He didn't say very much in the post. That is going to be quite substantially bet. There's definitely, again, Wall Street's bet style. I hope he's able to take some off the table, at least take out what he invested in it and maybe then a little bit more. And if he wants to do a YOLO trade into this, he can go ahead and do that. But that being said, that this is a fantastic return in just a short period of time, and this just gives you the total power of what the options can do. A funny little side note, do you guys ever notice that every person that posts on Wall Street Bets, their battery usage is completely terrible? They're always like sub 30 or sub 20, and some even have like the little red indication on being below 20 or 10%. I always find that funny. I always look at that. There must be a thing behind people making Wall Street Bet styles and low battery. I wonder what the correlation is. I don't know. That's a thought to ponder upon. Okay, anyway, sorry, let's get back to, we're going to slit this to the side, and we're going to be looking at the chart here in a second. So again, he bought 70 calls. It doesn't clarify when he bought them or so forth, but it just shows the overall return on them. Again, with earnings coming on Thursday, as everyone knows, earnings can be a complete coin flip, and especially for Nvidia, there's going to be multiple different factors that we want to look at. We're going to look at GPU sales to the cloud, and then they acquired Mellotronics at the end of April, I believe. So that's going to be, we need to hear what they say about that. And then, of course, we want to look at gross margins, because that's a huge component within the GPU and the segment of that what they fall into is constantly improving on the gross margin. So that's the fundamental things. So looking at the chart here, this is just a daily chart, and you can see here since the bottom of this past March, it has been going up like a rocket ship, lack of a better words, having a huge gap up from the bottom and just continue riding up the 21 exponential moving average. Again, the 21 exponential moving average is the yellow line, and that's what we use to kind of track a potential trend going up or down. So, and of course, it has a huge gap up the last couple days, and it's up just, again, nearly 3% today, $10 today, hitting, again, an all-time high again. And this news right here, I believe that was last Friday, was due to some of the China-related stuff on the trade deals. So this is a, what do you do here? Like, again, like we talked about, this is going to be a Wall Street bet style trade for that individual. But again, if this was me and anyone who had reasonable conservative investing mindset, would be taking majority of it, by majority of 90% of it off the table, because that's a huge return in such a short period of time. That being said, if he's going to do a complete YOLO, which again doesn't talk about in discussion, we can talk about some potential price targets that we're looking at here. So first and foremost, we're going to be looking at what is the expected move for that week. So it's plus or minus 30 bucks. 30 bucks. So that's quite substantial. $30 again at the $360 stock. So basically would put it up about 390. We'll put that here, create a line there, and then below again minus 30 is be 330, which would be right here, at or below. So this is basically the potential trading range for this week on earnings. But again, earnings can go, this is just the one standard deviation move, or this is the 68 percentile move of the bell curve. So looking at this as a whole, this could potentially go further out. It could go easily to 425 again. No one has a crystal ball. Earnings can be complete coin flip, and who knows if Nvidia says, oh, we have a cure for a vaccine of some kind. You just don't. That's not likely for sure, but through their awesome GPU powers, they can find some wormhole, and that wormhole leads them down a path, and in that path they open up a chest, and that has the magic formula to cure all diseases. I don't know. That seems a little far out there maybe for some folks, but you just never know. That being said, let's get back into the charts of things. Again, low. This is the bear case. This is the bull case. If everything goes great and fantastic, we're looking at above 390. Anything kind of goes sour, negative. They're probably not going to give guidance like most companies haven't. But that being said, if it goes bad, there's some just they missed some numbers. The revenue is not as strong as the Wall Street's want it, and that could come down to the 330 level. Again, even if it comes to the 330 level, that's still a pretty high momentum stock. Between the 5 and the 8 exponential moving average on the daily chart, this just shows you that it has been a huge rider of momentum, because these are super fast momentum EMAs here. If it comes down closer to the 21, which is around a price target where, again, I'm not in the stock, what I would be comfortable starting to pick up unless they come out with super negative news, things like that. So if we go back to the wormhole example, if they opened up that wormhole, but they brought back diseases to us, that would be a bad scenario there. I'll stop talking about wormholes. Anyways, that being said, looking for a potential adding a position for me would be around the 310 level, potentially even lower to 290. I know the stock has run up so much, and earnings really has to come through, and I hope the best for Nvidia. I love their products. I have a GPU that I'm recording this video on right now using their product. Really do enjoy their stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the options chain. So let's look at this guy. So let's start with a very far out one. He bought basically, was it the 17? He bought the 21 January 2022, and he bought the 470 call. 470 call is basically, you can see here, there's a lot of volume there. It looks like other Wall Street Bets folks bought this as well when they saw the post. This post has been around for about 6 or 7 hours. So looking at around $45 basically. The guy bought it for around 41 when the picture was taken. I don't know if that was, again, we don't know exactly when he bought this, but that is already a nice small profit in that sense, being that far out. You can see here on what the call options are trading that are in the money. Again, so if it jumps to 390, we're talking about 3 or 4 percentages from where we're looking at. That could be an easy large profit for him, jumping these calls from $40 to $45 easily to $60 to $55. So making a pretty nice 30 to 40% return on just on that. And these are, again, 612 days out. So he's got plenty of time for those to come to fruition. And again, if anything goes crazy, we're not going to talk about wormholes anymore, but if that wormhole does go sour. Then we're going to be looking at, he bought some on the 17th of July. All right, here we go. And he bought the 360. So these are basically going to be trading right at the money. So these are going to be making substantially profit. Closer you are to the in the money, or if you're closer, if you're closer to the current stock price, or being in the money, or being above it, or below it, that you're going to be getting a nice chunk of change for those calls. And further out, you can see like these options all the way down here are not as highly priced due to their value of being that far away from the strike price. That's how options work, and lack of a better words. So that being said, again, if the earnings call goes great and it goes to 390 like people are projecting, this could easily jump up to $50 or $5,000 in options contract. So it's trading around $3,000 a contract now. Again, if it goes the opposite direction, we could be seeing this options contract cut in half and even more. So trading to around 1,200 to 1,400 because that implied volatility is going to be shrinking down. Let's look, because you see on the May 22nd, that's the week of earnings, you see the implied volatility being super high due to the fact of an earnings event, which creates volatility, because usually stocks move the most 4 times a year around earnings unless there is some kind of news driven thing around it. And then he has actually 2 more call spreads or call options within the 19th and 16th, or no, the 12th and the 19th, sorry. Having just one here at 375. Again, this is still out of the money as well, but still could be a nice chunk of change if the earnings goes his way. Then the last but not least, we have the 455 call, which is really far out for just being so close to what we're looking at here. We're going to be looking at the 455 basically here. He bought it, or is looking at his price, again, didn't know when he bought it, at $1.28. Again, they're trading about they're not the most liquid because the spread's pretty substantial. We're talking about nearly 50 cents or $50, so between probably like 175, 180 to try to get the mid price there. But we're quite a far ways away from the being in the money or even being near the strike price, and not giving too much time. We're talking 24 days to try to get that 455. I think this is just a complete a bet and a YOLO bet for him to see if if it hits the 390, 400, that these call options can easily 10x. To easily $7 to $8, $10 per options contract. We'll see. We'll do an update potentially if the individual does post it after earnings. Would like to see what he decides to do, or she. We're not 100% sure. Most likely he, because he doesn't have we'll see how that trade plays out, and how, if he's able to be selling, if he's getting out and things like that. I think he might be sounding like it, if he posted on Wall Street's Bet, that he's going to be doing a YOLO trade. But my advice to him is to try to take some of that money off the table to get yourself a nice wormhole. Okay, I'll stop talking about wormholes. Guys, thank you again so much for watching and the ongoing support here for the Dyslexic Investor stuff here. I really do appreciate making these videos for you guys. Again, if there's anything you want to talk about, want me to discuss more, please put that in the comment section down below, or wherever the hell they moved it. If you are interested in joining the awesome, fantastic Dyslexic Investor Club Discord, you're more than welcome. That's also in the description. And if you want to take your membership and love for the channel a little bit further, we also have a Patreon page also down below where you can get support on ongoing stuff within the market, watch lists, and fun stuff like that, and support the channel at the same time. Greatly appreciate that. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe as well if you like this content. Again, this is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.